Old school Pokemon here, back again with my usual co-host, Catch 'em All Collectibles, Dan, on the Pokeflips podcast.
In this video, we highlight a clip from our most recent podcast. We hope you enjoy. J Ray Pokey asks, or J Ray Poke, what are your guys' thoughts on selling Pokemon cards on Instagram? I think there's merit to it, but one of the things this actually came up in my office hours this morning. Shameless self-promotion for the Pokenomics Patreon. But I think in this space a lot of people are overly fee averse. I've definitely brought that up on Pokeflips before. 12-13% fee to eBay for the platform they provide, for the buyer pool they provide, for everything they do is so reasonable. It's so, I would go as far to say it's cheap. I hope nobody corporately who works for eBay is in here. I would pay them more money. Please don't raise my fees, but if they raise their fees fairly significantly, I wouldn't leave. When you sell on Instagram, you get into like one of the biggest underrated things about eBay is, there's multiple, but one of the biggest ones, when I sell, if they're in New York, if they're in Connecticut, if they're in Florida, if they're in California, wherever they are, eBay handles, they collect and they remit the proper sales tax. If they have a sales tax exemption, in New York, the form is called a W-9. I have no idea what the forms are called in other states, but I'm sales tax exempt on cards I buy for resale. I provided my W-9 to eBay, and so they don't charge me sales tax on items purchased for resale. I don't have to handle that. I don't have to figure that out. I just sell it on eBay. eBay handles all that on the buyer's end, and they handle it with the proper regulatory body, the proper tax jurisdiction. They remit all those things. When you sell on Instagram, legally, you have to do all that. When you sell on PayPal, Instagram, wherever, if you sell on your own website, legally that falls on you. That is not easy to do. That is very difficult logistically. And eBay just handles all that. Plus on Instagram, it's like if you run stories, those expire after 24 hours. And eBay, you just make a post, you go to sleep, you go about your day, you do your other things. When it tells you to ship them, you ship them. It's more passive in that respect, that you put up a listing and it just lives there. So I see the merit in it. You can split the fees with your seller. You guys can both save 6%, and it's awesome and it's great. But like all the regulatory crap that you're just illegally circumventing is not that attractive when you really get down to it.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. We pretty much have the same thoughts there. eBay is just so much easier to use compared to Instagram. And plus, what was I gonna say? Easier to use and easier to keep track of what you're selling or what you're listing, what's sold, all of that stuff. I honestly don't know how people run an entire business on Instagram or Facebook. That sounds like an absolute nightmare to me. Like seeing, I'm on Facebook a lot in a lot of the Pokemon groups. Seeing like the claim sales with like 500 comments, how does anyone even keep track of that? That would be an absolute nightmare, shipping out all those orders, keeping track of all those messages. I don't know how people like that do that. I can't even keep track of like one sale a week through Instagram. I'll forget to mail it the next day or something like that'll happen.
And very, very often, I think that people, Pennywise, pound foolish. I think they're saving the 12% eBay fees, but they're costing themselves 20% in realized price. Like I think, I feel like I'm losing my mind lately. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier in this podcast. I don't know if I mentioned it. It might have been in my live last night. Cole actually peeked at you, made a joke about how many lives I've been on recently, but I think a good service charges you a fee that's less than the additional revenue they allow you to realize. So like eBay is charging me 13%. I am realizing infinitely more. Like take it to its base level. If I was going to have a garage sale on my front lawn, eBay is selling my cards for substantially higher than 13% more than I could sell them for on my front lawn. Absolutely. Now compare it to TCG Player, compare it to Golden Heritage, PWCC, compare it to going to a convention. I think eBay provides more than a 13% premium on 99% of cards than you can sell them anywhere else. Like, and then again, going back to like how much easier and how much quicker it is, generally speaking, than the other methods. Like to me, eBay is providing way more than 13% of gross sale value, in my opinion. And then again, I'm doing some self promotion here, but like the consignment service thing, Nick actually does some too. Nick does some auction consignments, but he also does some buy it now consignments. I think a good service will yield you more money net than you would otherwise through a different service. So like part of my sales pitch for buy it now consignments is I'm charging you 20% if you sold on eBay yourself for 13%. I will yield you more than that additional 7%, especially over like auction consignment services. That's my thought. We saw how the numbers worked out on the PSA 9 base Charizard, but in my hour-long video there. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. I think people are people are way too afraid to pay fees, and people are way too afraid to do things like legally by the book. Because once you do things legally by the book as a business, so many doors unlock as far as, again, not tax advice, but like writing things off and saving money in tax advantage accounts. There are so many supplementary ways that you like get benefits. There are so many different benefits that unlock when you do things properly as a business.
Yeah, absolutely. eBay is definitely the way to go, in my opinion.
What are your guys' thoughts on selling Pokemon cards on Instagram at lower than eBay prices or TCG Player prices, etc.? I don't know if this was asked before we answered that kind of rant I went on. So just very quickly, to me, like, I don't want to sell for the same price, generally speaking. Like, if I'm selling a card for 100 on eBay, I don't want to sell it for 100 on Instagram, because the logistics of doing everything above board and all the taxes, and because when someone wants to buy off eBay, they don't want to pay, like they want the whole 12% for them, and they want the whole 8 or 10% or whatever sales tax rate they're paying. They want to save 20% from their end. I see their motivation. My motivation is non-existent. Like, so I just that's my take. Like, I would rather. Some people get really mad too. Like, I've had people reach out to me, hey, this is 100 on here, I'll give you 90 through PayPal. And I said, this is eBay, buy it here. It's really frustrating too. Like, I have the same name. If you wanna, don't ask me if I have an IG. Don't ask me if I'll sell through. Like, find my Instagram. If you're gonna reach out, if you're gonna try to make someone violate eBay terms of service, not do sales tax stuff properly, at least do the courtesy of like searching their name on Instagram and reaching out to them first. It's so frustrating. But then I'm like, hey, this is eBay. It's here for 100. Buy it or don't buy it. I don't care. And then they find me on Instagram and they DM me, oh man, if I give you 100 there, you're only getting 87, and plus I'm paying 108 because I got to pay sales tax. And I'm like, I don't care. I would pay $13 to not talk to you. Go buy it on eBay. Like, that's what it comes down to. Because there's, when you say, and then if you come to me, like if you try to leave a little bit for me, like, hey, can I pay 90 so that you save $3? And I don't want to do all that extra work to save $3. I just don't. Again, it's not above board as far as sales taxes goes. I got to go into a different program to create a label and ship it. It's just not attractive whatsoever. That's where I stand. Very anti, like, just buy my stuff on eBay. If it's on eBay, buy it on eBay. Or at least,
I pretty much agree with you.
Yeah, or at least reach out in a more direct, attractive way. Make some positive for me on my side of it, and then maybe like it's more work and it's less legal, I guess. uh,
Oh man. Yeah, I would pretty much agree with all that.
yeah.
I like that being rant.
Yeah. Certain things really get me going, and that's one of them. And Secret Shop Cars says I made a sale on Instagram and it was really pleasant. I've made sales. I've made purchases on Instagram too. It's all about how too many times I've had the entitled buyer approach me. Like the most lazy entitled thing you can do is message someone on eBay. What's the absolute lowest you'll take? My Instagram is this. Like I'm going to go out of my way to DM you so that I can have the honor of passing the entire discount on to you. I see that multiple times weekly. So like context for why I'm so ranty about the whole situation, multiple times a week I have an eBay message. DM me on Instagram. I want this card. And I know the story. I know the whole song and dance. What's the absolute lowest you'll take? I want to not pay sales tax while also not paying you're not paying fees, so I'm going to take all that money you're not paying in fees. And then bonus points if they want an international shipment with a $5 declaration and they want to pay goods and services and they want like I'm in Italy and I want that $5,000 card declared as a $5 gift so that in a month I can charge it back. No thanks. Yeah. No thanks. That's been my experience, my anecdotal negative experiences with Instagram sales that don't turn into sales. So yeah, that's why I'm fairly negative on it overall. And most businesses operating Instagram businesses and things like that, regulatory as far as all that goes, they're not doing things the right way. Oftentimes tax evasion, illegal things go like I don't want I want to run a proper business above board in all the aspects that I can be. So yeah, I love eBay. eBay, sponsor me, hit me up. Come on. I'm shouting your praises.
Oh man. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to smash that like button. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and press that notification bell so you don't miss any more of our future content.
Another way to support the channel, both of our eBays are linked below via an affiliate link. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you all later.